Hello, the story I'm going to tell you today takes place in Ibaraki Prefecture, Japan. Ibaraki Prefecture is located in the northeastern part of the Kanto region, known for its thriving agriculture and fishing industries. Its cultivated land area ranks second in Japan. In the northeastern part of Ibaraki Prefecture lies a city called Hitachiōta. This is one of the few regions in Japan known for producing high-quality buckwheat. The province's famous autumn specialty is Hitachi Akisoba noodles, with their rich aroma and subtle sweetness that make the dining experience truly unforgettable. Today's story begins in a forest on a mountain in the northern part of Hitachiōta City. On June 18, 2022, a Saturday, the local police department was investigating a case in a mountain forest north of Hitachiōta City, Ibaraki Prefecture. During their search, they discovered a girl hanging from a tree, completely naked. She was wearing handcuffs and her face was disfigured. The police speculated that she had fallen from the mountain behind her and landed on the tree. The spot where she was found was near a location called Ikuta Waterfall, a remote area surrounded by a dense forest of towering trees. Since this scenic spot isn't widely known, it doesn't attract many tourists. A forensic examination revealed bruises on her face and wrists, possibly caused by the handcuffs, but no clear wounds on other parts of her body. She had a fractured hyoid bone, a horseshoe-shaped bone located in the midline of the neck, between the chin and the thyroid cartilage. This condition is typically caused by strangulation or hanging. The cause of death was determined to be asphyxiation. The time of death was estimated to be about 2 to 3 weeks prior. The police quickly concluded that the location where she was found was not the initial crime scene. She had been brought there, making it clear this was not a voluntary act, but a murder. The next step for the police was to identify the victim. 10 days before the girl was found, on June 8, 2022, a couple in Tokyo reported to the police that their 23-year-old daughter had left home on June 5th and hadn't returned after 3 days. "We couldn't reach her, so we're asking the police to help find her," they said. After verification, it was confirmed that the missing person was indeed the girl found in the forest later. The victim's name was Arano Rina, born in 1999 in Tokyo. At the time, she was 23 years old and lived with her family in an apartment in Bunkyo Ward, Tokyo. Bunkyo Ward is southwest of Hitachiōta City, about 100 kilometers from the crime scene. Rina had grown up in a family that never had to worry about money. She had an older sister, and the family of 4 lived peacefully and happily together. Her father worked at a pharmaceutical company specializing in developing drugs for Alzheimer's disease and schizophrenia. Her mother was a homemaker with an elegant demeanor and a model-like figure. From a young age, Rina was a sweet and adorable girl, the apple of her family's eye. With a cheerful, lively, and energetic personality, she loved singing and dancing. In elementary school, Rina joined the school's dance club and achieved high rankings in school dance competitions. Perhaps influenced by her father, Rina dreamed of becoming a pharmacist in the future. She thought it would be wonderful to work hard to save a cancer patient's life. After graduating from elementary school, Rina attended a combined junior and senior high school. She made new friends and encountered many new experiences. Rina gradually became more interested in fashion, music, and shopping. She started paying attention to her appearance, wanting her skin to be fairer and smoother. During holidays, she often went shopping with friends in Tokyo's Harajuku district. In high school, Rina's grades began to slip. She lost focus on her studies and didn't pursue university. At her parents' arrangement, she enrolled in a medical training school. Perhaps finding the coursework too difficult and monotonous, she couldn't concentrate. By then, Rina had forgotten her initial dream of becoming a pharmacist. She frequently skipped classes and even rebelled against her parents. At 19, despite their objections, Rina decided to drop out. After a falling out with her family, she left their home in Bunkyo Ward and moved to Shinjuku Ward, renting a cheap apartment near Kabukicho to live alone. To ease her loneliness, she adopted a cat as a companion. Later, Rina found a job as a bartender in Kabukicho, a famous nightlife district known for adult entertainment. But after paying rent and living expenses, her earnings weren't enough. Living alone, away from her parents, her costs skyrocketed. Spending on clothes and cosmetics was no longer a small expense. Rina wanted to earn more money, and her growing material desires drove her to seek more. So, using a stage name and keeping it secret from her family, Rina began working as a freelance model and actress without signing with an agency. This meant she marketed herself, managed her own shooting schedules, and even participated in AV, adult video, productions independently. AV stands for Adult Video. Pay varied widely depending on a model's popularity and conditions like whether their face was shown. High-earning models could make over 200,000 yen, equivalent to approximately $1,334 at current rates, per shoot. With Rina's initial popularity, she earned around 100,000 yen per shoot, equivalent to approximately $667.50. She also started her own fan club, earning over 1 million yen monthly, equivalent to approximately $6,675 from it. Without an agency's protection, freelance models often dealt directly with clients. For private AV shoots, partners were usually male, sometimes alone with her in a room. During filming, she might be pressured to escalate content, sparking controversy. Freelancers also had to travel to unfamiliar places, often without knowing their partners' identities, making risks unavoidable. Still, Rina chose this career. To prevent last-minute content changes, she discussed details with partners beforehand, only agreeing to meet once they committed to her terms. By chance, her family once saw photos of her in lingerie, enraging her parents. Rina deflected, saying, "I'm just modeling fashion, that's why I wear those clothes." After some reluctant explanations, her parents believed her and let it go. In 2021, at 22, Rina moved back home with her parents. She wanted to gradually change her lifestyle and career, aspiring to marry, have children, and live a normal life like other women. She planned to slowly exit modeling. Tragically, Rina never reached that day. On June 8, 2022, her parents reported her missing after 3 days. They recounted, on the morning of June 5th, Rina dressed neatly, put on bright makeup, and told us she was meeting a friend. Then she left alone. That evening, as I finished preparing dinner, my husband and eldest daughter returned from work, but Rina was nowhere to be seen. We felt uneasy after calling her repeatedly with no answer. Her phone was off. At first, we thought it was just a dead battery, but she didn't come home that night. For 2 days, her phone stayed off. Even her close friends didn't know where she was. Worried something had happened, we called the police. After the report, the police launched an investigation and traced Rina's movements on June 5th. That morning, she took a train to Ibaraki Prefecture, arriving at Mito Station around 10 a.m. At the station's north exit, she got into a silver car with 4 men and headed to Hitachiōta City in northeastern Ibaraki. Based on Rina's online records, she had arranged to meet a man that day, a photographer she'd previously worked with. Surveillance cameras near Mito Station identified the car's license plate, linking it to the photographer, Hiroyuki Sanpei, 33, with a permanent address in Minami-Ashigara City, Kanagawa Prefecture. When police questioned Sanpei, he said, "On June 5th, I did meet Rina. I picked her up at Mito Station and took her to a villa in Hitachiōta City. I bought it in 2016, but I only use it occasionally and rarely stay there. Rina and I shot a short nude photo session there. We'd worked together there once before in March, so this session went smoothly and finished quickly. When it ended that afternoon, I dropped her off in front of an agricultural cooperative 920 meters southwest of my villa, then drove away. I don't know where she went after that." Investigators immediately visited Sanpei's villa, located on a mountain with stunning scenery and fresh air. The two-story villa had a road in front, a hot spring center to the southwest, and a sports park to the east. Neighbors said Sanpei bought the villa in 2016. He and his wife lived there briefly before divorcing. Sanpei then left but returned every couple of months, sometimes staying a few days. Over the past 2 to 3 years, he'd brought various women to the villa. No one knew exactly what he was doing. A week earlier, he'd arrived with a pretty charming woman, none other than Rina. That time, he stayed a few days before leaving. The villa was about 130 kilometers from Rina's home in Bunkyo, Tokyo. Sanpei claimed he dropped Rina off at the cooperative 920 meters away. Using Rina's photo, police questioned locals and passers-by. One said, "On June 5th, I saw Sanpei drive by in his silver car with a woman who looked like Rina, but that afternoon, no one saw him drive back or a woman like her pass through." This suggested Sanpei's account was one-sided and unverified. Police contacted Sanpei again, requesting to search the villa. Inside, a long hallway led to a bedroom on the left, a living room on the right, and a staircase at the end going up to the second floor or down to the basement. On the first floor, investigators found a cell phone, later confirmed as Rina's, dropped there. Sanpei explained, "I don't know anything about it. Maybe she forgot it when she left that day." As the prime suspect, police seized Sanpei's phone for investigation. Technicians recovered a large stash of AV videos, including one showing Rina confined in a dark, stifling space. Geolocation data confirmed she was in Sanpei's villa at the time. With this crucial evidence, on June 14th, 9 days after Rina's disappearance, police arrested Sanpei at an apartment in Minami-Ashigara City, Kanagawa Prefecture, for suspected unlawful confinement. With a search warrant, investigators returned to the villa for a detailed examination. They collected hair strands from a blanket on the first floor and found a damp mattress in the second-floor bathroom, recently cleaned. Rina's DNA was on the mattress, and in the basement they found a dirt-covered shovel and dozens of hair strands. Forensic analysis confirmed the hairs belonged to Sanpei and Rina. Police theorized Rina was held or restrained by Sanpei, possibly killed there. That day, they filmed in the basement. Afterward, Sanpei didn't let her leave, locking her downstairs. Later, he removed her from the villa and hid her elsewhere. After his arrest, Sanpei admitted, "I handcuffed Rina during filming, but only with her consent." He denied killing her, saying, "I don't know where she is now." Using Sanpei's driving records, police found he'd driven to a forest 2 kilometers northeast of the villa at the end of a forest road. 4 days after his arrest on June 18th, 2022, they found Rina in a lowland near Ikuta Waterfall, north of where Sanpei parked. She was hanging from a tree, handcuffed with no signs of life. They deduced she'd been thrown off the mountain. The site was 136 kilometers from her home and 2.4 kilometers from Sanpei's villa. Nearby, police found freshly dug soil, an empty can, and adhesive tape. Lab tests confirmed the soil matched the shovel from the basement. Sanpei's DNA was on the can. Rina's on the tape, which matched tape from the villa. All evidence pointed to Sanpei as the culprit. Sanpei was born in September 1988 in Koriyama City, Fukushima Prefecture's central hub. At the time of the crime, he was 33, the eldest of 3 siblings in a well-off family. His father was a senior employee at a major company, and his mother, once a hair salon owner, later became a homemaker. When Sanpei was in kindergarten, his father was sent by his company to a U.S. auto parts factory in Ohio as a technical instructor. The family moved to Ohio, where the cold climate initially posed health challenges. After 8 years in 2001, when Sanpei was 13, his father finished his assignment, and the family returned to Japan, building a new home in Koriyama. Sanpei enrolled in a public high school there. Having lived in the U.S., his English was excellent. Though not tall, he excelled at basketball, joining the school's team. Popular and admired, classmates called him a prodigy in academics and sports, but his volatile temper emerged then. A close friend said, Sanpei was short-tempered, often raging and throwing things at home, unlike his school persona. In 2003, at 15, Sanpei graduated junior high with top marks, entering Soshi High School and joining its basketball club. He later represented the school in a national high school championship. After graduating at his parents' urging, he studied at the University of South Alabama. Returning to Japan post-graduation, he worked near home for a semiconductor and chemical trading company, improving production line designs. Hard-working and serious, within 2 years, he was promoted to department head at the headquarters. During this time, he married a high school classmate. In November 2016, at 28, Sanpei borrowed 14 million yen, equivalent to approximately $93,450 to buy the villa in Hitachiōta City, where he later held and killed Rina. A month later, on December 2, 2016, he was arrested for allegedly assaulting police. Over the next 2 months, he repeatedly caused trouble and was detained. In January 2017, he assaulted a woman on a street in Hitachiōta City, arrested again for assault and indecent behavior. On January 25, 2017, he assaulted another woman. Facing multiple charges, Sanpei avoided prosecution by paying high settlements with his parents' help, paving the way for worse crimes. After repeated offenses without remorse, his wife filed for divorce. They lost contact afterward. Sanpei left Hitachiōta for Minamiashigara City in western Kanagawa Prefecture, 200 kilometers away. He worked briefly at a local film company before quitting, then became active online, meeting and filming AV actresses and models to satisfy his desires. 4 months before the incident, in mid-February 2022, Sanpei, 33, connected with Rina, 23, on Twitter. He'd reposted a modeling job, February 23rd to 27th, or March 2nd to 6th, in Hitachiōta City, Ibaraki, paying 60,000 yen, equivalent to approximately $399.48, for 3 hours. Rina received a similar offer from Tokyo Bunkyo World, requiring a 2.5-hour train ride to Ibaraki, with pay no less than 100,000 yen, equivalent to approximately $667.92. Sanpei's 60,000 yen offer was rejected, but he negotiated up to 120,000 yen, equivalent to approximately 120,000 yen, $800.75. In early March, they completed their first deal and stayed in touch. On June 5th, their second deal, Rina took a train to Hitachiōta and entered Sanpei's villa. He took her to the basement, set up with filming gear and props like handcuffs, ropes, and a whip. The bare room had only a mattress. At 11 a.m., during filming, Sanpei handcuffed Rina and recorded the sensitive process. Losing control, he strangled her to death. Panicked, he disfigured her face to hinder identification and dumped her body in a mountain forest 2.4 kilometers away. Arrested, he admitted to handcuffing her but denied murder. On June 18, 2022, after her body was found via his car's tracking data, he confessed fully. A classmate said, Sanpei returned from the US to a well-off family. His father's job brought them back to Japan, where he finished junior and senior high in Koriyama. He seemed good-natured and trouble-free then, but that changed as an adult, maybe tied to his later study abroad. A neighbor near the villa said, after moving here, Sanpei was friendly, smiling at neighbors. He seemed simple, kind, and easygoing, leaving no bad impression. Another acquaintance noted, in junior high, he grew erratic, raging at his parents and throwing things late at night. Sanpei's grandfather lamented, his father was busy with work, neglecting his studies and life. That lack of paternal love likely warped his personality, leading to this unforgivable crime. As of this story's publication, the case awaits trial, but Sanpei will undoubtedly face strict legal punishment. Among nations emphasizing enthusiast content, Japan's AV industry is the world's most prominent, accounting for 20% of the global market and generating billions of dollars annually. AV has long been a hallmark of Japan. Though prostitution is banned, the AV industry is legalized. In Japan's entertainment world, Arano Rina was a freelance model and AV star beloved by fans. She took bold nude photo shoots, charging 100,000 yen, equivalent to approximately $667.92 per session, and starred in provocative roles. Per See the People, she earned about $1,000 per photo on a paid 18-plus platform. Alongside its growth, the industry's dark side and risks abound, as Rina's case exemplifies. Another name in AV is Maria Ozawa, once a top student at an international school in Hokkaido with excellent English. When she abandoned academics for AV, her parents slapped her hard. They disowned her, refusing her money and banning her from home, even telling neighbors she died in a car crash. Despite such struggles and risks in this lucrative field, many Japanese women still pursue this challenging career. Everyone makes choices suited to a moment, and time answers lingering questions. But sometimes it's too late to turn back. That's it for today's video. See you in the next one. Goodbye.